right now, you guys are just getting your kicked by Toyota and Chevrolet. It's one thing to get your kicked by Chevy, but you guys are letting Toyota kick your man, and that's just no good at all, man. What's going on, y'all? I'm Brandon Atlanta Man Bang, coming to you live right here at Coach's Corner, the center of the universe, Thunderbolt, Georgia. Another episode of Rubbin' and Grubbin'. Rubbin' is racing, grubbin' is tasting. Man, I hope everybody's having a great Wednesday night. Got a lot of NASCAR news to go over there. What a great race we saw at Kansas, man. So let's not wait. Let's get right into it. Getting into that NASCAR news, man. Hey, Young Money, Kyle Larson figures out a way to come home, bring home the checkers in the land of Oz there, man. Follow the yellow brick road right there to the finish line. 1/1000th of a second, man. Closest finish in NASCAR history. And, yeah, it was a good one, man. That was a great way to end probably the best race that we've seen all year long. Some more NASCAR news, man. Michael McDowell, driver of the 34 over there at front row, pretty much been the staple of that organization for a while, leaving at the end of the season. 2025, jumping over to the 71 Aspire. That kind of leaves Zane Smith, I guess, out looking for something. We'll see what happens there, if he drops back down or somebody else picks him up. But at the end of the day, it's going to be interesting to see what McDowell can go over and do there. Obviously, being in that organization at front row for so long and being so close to everybody, now coming over, new shop, new team, new members, new personalities. We'll see what he can do, but is it a step up? Nah, I don't know, man. We're going to have to wait and see, but at least they got another good veteran driver over there alongside Corey LaJoie, so we'll see what happens, man. But big news there for Michael McDowell. So, Dale Jr. set to be in that TNT broadcast booth 2025, man. I tell you what, you know, this year it kind of came up. They didn't renew that contract there after the season. NBC got their new person in there and was wondering what Dale Jr. was going to do. I love him in the booth. I think it's great. I think he's a good personality up there. Brings a little bit of new life to it for sure. Now we'll see how it goes with Charter System talks and if he buys in. And, you know, if he does, I would think he'd go, what the hell, we might as well make as much money as we can. So, at the end of the day, you know, big moves there for Dale Jr., man. So if you haven't yet, y'all, please go out, like, share, follow, all that social media. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us on X, formerly known as Twitter, Facebook. But most importantly, go out, subscribe to that YouTube channel. If you're new, subscribing, or want to comment, hashtag Alex the Showman Bowman. We're still giving away this helmet. Like I said, we're trying to get to 400. I think we're at like 322, 323. I don't know. But at the end of the day, it's either the first Alex Bowman win of the season or 400 subscribers, man. So make sure you guys are going out, checking out that YouTube. As I always like to say, the more eyes we get on that, hopefully the more money we're able to raise for these charitable causes we do on Rubbin' and Grubbin', Checkered Flag for Charity, but not only that, Coach's Corner as well, man. So go out, tell your grandma, tell your cousins, your nephews, your nieces. I don't care if you just had a baby or is still in the womb, man. Go make them a little Google account or whatever and subscribe to that YouTube channel, man. It was announced Jeff Bodine going to be the Grand Marshal, man, which this is 2 weeks in a row. You've had some NASCAR staples, you know, being Grand Marshal of the races. I think it was Mark Martin last week or a week before, one of the two, and then you turn around and got Jeff Bodine. So I'm really enjoying what NASCAR is doing with some of these former drivers, getting them involved back on the presence, obviously, at the race. And for a lot of older guys or people my age that grew up watching some of these guys race and being staples of the sport, it's really cool to at least be able to see them back at the track and, you know, having a really good time. So keep it up, NASCAR. Good look right there, man. Speaking of Mark Martin and all that, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., man, is going to honor Mark Martin at Darlington here on Throwback Weekend, which is going to be awesome. You know, this Mother's Day coming up. We always love all the paint schemes, which if you haven't yet, go out and check them out, NASCAR.com. There's a few other websites that have all of them on it. Some really good-looking cars this year. And there again, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Oscar Mayer, baby. You know what I mean? The Oscar Mayer mobile, man. I might have to take him for a come-ahead, man. You know, who knows, you know. But good-looking car there, and love paying the homage and respect back to some of the guys that made the sport and built the sport into what it is today. So it's one of my favorite weekends. Nostalgia, you get to see some really old school paint schemes or wraps now. We all know they're not painted, but at the end of the day, still a really cool event that they put on here in NASCAR for that Throwback Weekend. So looking forward to seeing some of the other schemes out there. But like I said, check out NASCAR.com. You can see them all there, man. So before we get into my favorite part of the show, we're already pausing for station identification. I'm going to tell y'all right now, this is the first little kiss of summer that we're getting. It is hotter than two rats screwing in a wool sock out here, all right, man? So at the end of the day, cheers, y'all. Oh, yeah, need a freshie. Getting in there, man. Hope everybody's having a good Wednesday. Look, it's kind of my Friday. I'm going to enjoy a couple up here on the show while I can. And looking forward to the weekend. I got a lot of big plans, and I'm excited about that. That's where I'm at, man. So hope everybody else is going to have a good one. And we're going to hit it again, man, because I told you, it's so hot we got to do it twice today. That's good beer right there. So getting to that checkered flag for charity. Like I said, if you're new to tuning into the show, the way that we do this is basically whatever car number wins on the weekend, we're going to throw it in. The 5-1, anything under the 20 in Christopher Bell is always going to be a 20, so that's 20 more thrown in. Yearly total is $1,085. Me and Lawrence have been talking. We got a couple ideas of what we're getting ready to do for Checkered Flag for charity for the next part of the season. So hopefully by next week we'll have it lined out, let you know what's going on. But I say it all the time, you know, this all stays local right here in the Savannah area. You can ask anybody. There's been a lot of not only personal friends and family of ours that we've helped out, just people in the community, also a couple organizations in the community, right? So that's what it's really all about for me. Look, at the end of the day, I get to come up here and talk NASCAR every week, which anybody that knows me knows it is possibly neck and neck for my favorite sport right alongside my dog's college football. But at the end of the day, man, it's just an honor to be able to talk about it and come up here and drink cold beer, hang out with the family, my coach's family, and raise money for great causes. So anytime you come into Coaches, like I said, if you're looking for a feel-good, want to give back to your community in a little way, man, hey, look, stop your waitress, your waiter, your bartender, anybody that works here at Coaches. Let them know you want to donate to Checkered Flag for charity. They're always going to get you guys squared up and make sure it goes to the right place, man. So like I say all the time, nickels, pennies, dimes, 10, 20s, 150s, doesn't matter what it is you got to give. It's a great feeling, and not only that, it's a good pat on the back, man. So throw some money in there and donate, baby. So getting right into that next segment, the who's hot and who's not. But before we do, got to give a big shout out to my main man, Parker Eccles over there, Arbor Man Tree Service, owner, operator. The man is just a legend around town when it comes to tree service. So at the end of the day, we're into hurricane season. It's already popping off. Getting trees removed, limbs cut back, need an estimate, hey man, make sure you give Parker a call over there at Arbor Man. You're going to see that number scrolling all night long on the bottom of the screen. Like I say, locally owned, locally operated, fully insured, man. Just make sure you give them a call for the best tree service in the Savannah area over there at Arbor Man Tree Service, brother. As I always say, no job too big, too small. Give Parker a call, baby. I love you, man. I'll see you in a bit, hopefully. But getting into the who's not, man, and I tell you what, it didn't take long from last week for old Young Money. What's up, brother? For old Young Money to get back onto that top spot. Another win there on the 2024 season. And, hey, we could be talking about back-to-back because I'm telling you right now, the guy is fire there at Darlington where we're going in. We know that high line's going to come in. And there might only be a couple other guys that take it up there and run it the way he does. So we'll see what happens. But, again, like I said, consistent, fast every single week. Great crew chief, great pit crew. Obviously, great equipment. We all know Hendrick Motorsports is the top, dog in the sport. Has been, always will be. But at the end of the day, watch out for Young Money, man. He's coming for sure. I think he's warming up this summer, and I think it's a little unspoken competition between him and Denny Hamlin and who's going to, really compete for this championship with some other players for sure. But those two guys right now, along with William Byron, might be the best three that are out there running it. So speaking of Denny, he's coming in second, man. Got another win, one more win than what Larson does. Top 5 finish there at Kansas. Really good run. Again, this is statistically his best track we're headed into at Darlington, throughout his career. We'll see if he can put it together. I say he blows a tire about, I don't know, sometime in stage 2, Denny blows a tire. I tell you what, anybody wants that bet, I'll bet $5 right now. Comment on the show. I'll take $5 bets. If I win, it all goes to charity. If you win, I'll Venmo, PayPal. I'll do whatever. I'll send you $5. However many bets wants it, bet on it now. Denny Hamlin blows a tire. does something, messes up, gets caught in a wreck, at least by the end of stage 2. Let's get it clear. So if he wrecks in stage 1, I win. You guys donate to charity. If it doesn't happen by midway through stage 2, you guys win. I pay y'all $5. So Martin Truex Jr. Yeah, I'm skipping over William Byron this week, baby. Martin Truex Jr. is going to come in third. And I'm telling you guys right now, very quiet. He's heating up, due for a win. Darlington could be that place. If it's not Darlington, it's going to come soon. I mean, they're just running too good. I think, we'll talk about it in a little bit, but I think he had Kansas wrapped up, had things went his way. But at the end of the day, again, doesn't have that win yet on the year, but very consistent, unloading fast, figuring out a way to get those points, get those top 5, top 10s. Very similar to last year again, but at the end of the day, we'll see if he can continue it out through those summer months, make that push here when we get into the fall, and make a stride for a championship. We'll see if he can get it done, but right now, on the hot list, baby. So getting into the knot, and I hate to keep putting it on him, because it really is a knot, but Austin Dillon, man.
Rubbing is racing and grubbing is tasting.
Look. Oh, man, I got to stay on top of the knot list. I hope that by the end of the season, we're not talking about them like the way we are week in and week out, but just not good runs, not good finishes. And we see what Kyle Busch is starting to crank up over there to kind of get the ball rolling in the right direction. You would figure that Austin would be able to follow suit, but he just can't, man. I mean, and let's be honest, all right? I think the writing's on the wall. It should have been on the wall for about 3 years now. That's just my opinion. But can anybody say office job? It's time for an office job, and, at the end of the day, Pop going to make that final decision. I think Pop probably tired of spending money on race cars and not running up front, but we'll see, man. Just take the office job, brother, make your money, man, and just hang out. I mean, be done. Enjoy the family, man. But here's one that Lawrence is going to love. All right, Lawrence is going to love this one. Joey Logano is on the knot list. And it's a Ford, and he's throwing the symbol up, so I'll throw $1 in the checkered flag. That's a cuss word to me. But at the end of the day, he's just not. When you go back, look statistically, the driver of the 22, a 2-time NASCAR Cup champion, has not had a top 10 finish since Martinsville. So what's that? We're going on 4 races, 5 races, whatever it may be. Hadn't had a top 10 since Martinsville. So close, finished 11th once outside of that, but still no top 10s. And I can tell you, if you got this guy, a 2-time Cup champion, probably the best Ford equipment in the sport, and not running consistent, not running up front, not leading laps, not contending, Ford's in trouble. So we'll see what happens. But again, winless on the year in all series, not just the Cup Series, which is mind-blowing to me. Come close. Just hadn't got it. But, Joey Logano on the knot list, baby. And, there's been some talk on the knot list as well, as always, NASCAR STDs, mufflers, and EV, right? But there has been some talk of the hybrid move in not only NASCAR, but Indy and Formula One. I think, obviously, with emissions and everybody going green and this and that, it's only a matter of time before we end up there. Now, we're going to touch base on this in just a little bit later on in the show, which I really hope we never do, because if we do, I'm not going to say I'm not going to watch it, because I'm always going to watch it, whatever it may be. But at the end of the day, it's definitely going to change the sport in a significant way for a lot of people. So hopefully we don't do that, and hopefully we figure it out. If you want to start a new series with that, okay, and let's do like 25-lap races, because that's all it's worth to me. But at the end of the day, we'll talk about it in a bit. But right now, again, NASCAR STDs on the knot list, man. So before we get into that Kansas City recap, baby, the land of Oz, we're going to pause for station identification again on Coach's Corner Sports Network. I told you guys it's hot out here. It is not even summer yet. We were just talking about that. It's not even really summer yet, and it's scorching. Yeah, it's scorching, man. If I could be naked up here, if I actually had the body to be naked, I might even be naked on Rubbing and Grubbing right now. But anyways, I am not. So I'm just going to deal with it. But cheers, y'all. Hope everybody's having a good Wednesday. Thanks for tuning in, and drink along, man. That's what it's all about. Oh, yeah. All right. So what an amazing race we had there at Kansas. And I tell you what, my family and I, we used to go to that race every year. I had an uncle that lived 20 minutes from the track, and a super nice house, awesome setup. My Uncle Brad had it going on out there, man. And it was really one of the best race weekends to ever go to. And I got a text. They were over at my Uncle King's house, my great Uncle Barry, watching the race this weekend. And I tell you what, I'm sure it made him proud to tune in and see a really good race like we saw. That's probably one of the best races I've seen in a very long time. Not just this season, but a few years there. I mean, that Kansas race had everything. Side-by-side action, restarts were badass. I mean, you know, just passing, different players up front, different strategy. The cautions fell right. And at the end of the day, look at the finish we had, man. I tell you, I hate it for Chris Buescher. I really do. I love to see some of those smaller guys and underfunded teams, which I don't know if RFK is really underfunded, but they're rebuilding, right? But I love to see those guys win. And not only that, I had him in Coach's Game of Skill. Still won some money, some units, but I lost. I lost a little bit too right there. So at the end of the day, that was an amazing race. The best of the season so far, I will say that. And I tell you what, I think that mile and a half just showed up in a big way and put their stamp on what the next gen car can really do if we really get into mile and a half. You know, we did away with some there over the last however many 10 years of going, oh, it's not this, it's not that. Well, you're seeing everything that it possibly could be. So who knows? Who knows where we end up? I think we need more progressive bank mile and a half similar to Kansas. I don't think we need all of them to be that way. I think characteristics at different tracks, maybe change the banking degree a little bit, or maybe change something about it, configuration a little bit. But at the end of the day, it's showing that is the bread and butter right now of what the next gen car is. And I think you're really seeing the next gen car come into fruition at some of those mile and a half racetracks. So at the end of the day, to me, #1 race all season. Great race. That's what we need week in and week out to get that viewership and get that fan base built back up to what we were there in the 90s, man. So we'll see if it happens. Already touched base on it, man. Young Money Kyle Larson finds a way to bring home the checkered flag right there at Kansas, beating out Chris Buescher by 1/1000th of a second, the closest finish in NASCAR history. And man, I thought I had it won. And I was good for 3 minutes, and in the next 3 minutes, I felt like somebody stole my soul. But at the end of the day, Ford's still winless, which is a big topic. We're going to talk about that, I think, until they win. We're already going on, almost a third of the way through the season right here, and hasn't had a win yet. And there's a couple tracks out there, obviously, you know, Talladega and Daytona and these guys that you circle for Ford hadn't been there. Now, me and Lawrence talked about it. There's a couple other tracks coming up for sure in the future that they're going to run good at, and I think they do get it figured out. I think the All-Star break is going to be a telltale for them. That first bye week we get for the Olympics this year, I think they're going to go to work. I think you have to go to work to figure it out, because right now you guys are just getting your ass kicked by Toyota and Chevrolet. It's one thing to get your ass kicked by Chevy, but you guys are letting Toyota kick your ass, man, and that's just no good at all, man. But Denny Hamlin, man, looked strong. I tell you what, looked really strong that whole race. We know it's one of his better racetracks. He's shown up there. I mean, I remember, I think it was his rookie season, seeing him there at Kansas. And this is before they had progressive banking and the reconfiguration, everything they did there. But he still, excuse me, ran it really good to be a young guy coming into the sport. And he's had a knack for it. You know, he looked really strong there. Caught some stuff there, had his own little mishaps there and fell back, but still found a way to bring home a top 5. And really, that's what it's all about. If you want to run for a championship and you want to contend for it, you got to win now. Now, in this format, you have to win when it really counts. But at the end of the day, you got to make it there. And I think that he can. We've seen him there a million times. He just hadn't been able to seal the deal. And he called his own shot. He said this is the year that he's going to win a championship. I don't believe it. I won't believe it until I see it. I've seen it for so many years of the same stuff and failing. And at the end of the day, I just don't think the new Phoenix is going to be somewhere he goes and contends. But who knows? He might prove me wrong, and if he does, he does. So at the end of the day, I think he's, for the age that he's at and the wins that he has, no point blank period, he is definitely a Hall of Fame driver. Blowing Dale Jr. out of the water, let's just say that. You know, I mean, he's probably a generational talent before Kyle Busch. That's probably that generational talent that kind of hit there around the same time, I guess, in a way, as an actual young up-and-coming driver. You know, outside Jimmy Johnson and a couple other guys maybe in and around the same time period or before. But generational talent, When they lose him, I hope he does his last 2 years over there at 2311. I really do. I hope they crank a third car up for Denny, maybe even after he retires, and maybe he only runs 10 races a year. And I think it might be a guy that you see step into a third car, a partial schedule, and actually win a race. I think he could do that. So, going to be interesting to see what he does. But again, good run, just didn't have enough, man. So Chris Buescher, like I said, found a way to rebound too. Man, into stage 2 there, pit stop, bam, penalty, restart, and lost all the track position. I'm like, man, here we go. It's going to be hard for him to get back up there. A lot of cautions right there back to back. I think we had 5 in a row, 4 in a row right there, pretty much within, you know, a couple green flag laps and boom, caution. And it kind of helped him back in the way of the strategy he was going to play out and the way it all unfolded for him. Definitely brought him back up. And that last one there, you know, definitely helped. But at the end of the day, I thought he won. I mean, I thought he won. I think a lot of people thought he won. But scoring doesn't lie. Lasers don't lie, man. You break that plane, Kyle Larson had you beat. And it was just minimal. Looked a lot like the Kentucky Derby. And I tell you guys, Japanese, Forever Young almost had it. Not as close as Sierra Leone, but damn what a finish to that Derby, too. I only lost a little bit of money. I bet $150 on it. Lawrence threw it in there for me. I think it was $166, I think is what it came out to. But at the end of the day, I lost a little bit. I owe him like 20-something bucks. I'll take it, man. But man, what a good run there for the horses too. Very similar to that NASCAR race. I don't think you'll ever be able to repeat that in history, right? Like a close finish. And yeah, it was close. We almost swept it. Yeah, we were doing good. We were looking really good, man, until we weren't. But at the end of the day, that's racing for you. Horse racing, tricycle racing, turtle racing, crab racing, NASCAR racing. It's all the same. Sometimes it's this close and sometimes it's this close. So it is what it is, man. But I'm going to tell you guys, the winner of that race in this past weekend should have been Martin Truex Jr. Had that last caution not come out, and Buescher and Hamlin both saving gas, he was getting ready to blow by Hamlin like no tomorrow with 4 to go. Yeah, they had no tomorrow. And it just didn't work out that way. You know, caution came out, strategy happens, and he's still close, still had a good run. I think he was upset with Chase Elliott a little bit or whoever. It doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, you better quit crying and start driving. That's what he better do. Better go out there and get them wins. I think he's just getting old. Man, you better do something. Eat your multivitamins, man. Your damn Siltrum Silver, brother, and get out there and get after it. But at the end of the day, really good run for him. I thought he was, you know, if the caution didn't come out, he definitely would have had it won, but it did. And again, that's racing, man. So good run for that 19 team Toyota over there at Joe Gibbs. They're going to get it done. They're going to win a race. Only a matter of time of when, and it's where and how it goes down. But they're going to win a race or two for sure. So again, like I said, best race of the year for me in my eyes. I would love to hear what you guys have to think. I think that Kansas is growing into possibly one of the best races that we see all year, 2 best races, because we get to see it twice. And again, we're going to talk about that, maybe not this week, but next week I'll drop that in there about how I feel about similar tracks and what we need to do and what moves we should be making, in my opinion, compared to what we are doing with the sport. But at the end of the day, cannot wait to get back there in the fall. It's going to be an amazing race again, as it has been over the last few seasons, but just a great race there at Kansas for sure. So we're getting ready to get into that Darlington preview, man. And before we do, again, I'm telling you guys, I got black on. I'm not even in the sun. I'm sweating my ass off up here, man. This, no joke. And we even got a breeze. I'm not even built for summertime yet. I'm going to have to go sit outside like, I don't know. Whenever it gets back in the 90s, I'm just going to have to put a sweatshirt on, sit outside, and get acclimated to this. I'm dying out here this year, man. I'm spoiled, but headed into Lady in Black, baby. The track, too tough, too tame right there. Such a unique, historic NASCAR track. I don't know if there's really, outside of Daytona and a couple other ones, I don't know if there's really a track that has the history of Darlington, man. This is what it's all about. Those southern roots down here, a bunch of country boys out there running them cars. We're not country boys no more. We're big, sophisticated, big money teams. But at the end of the day, this is a driver's track. This is where you see who's going to get up on the wheel, who's going to drive it, who can manage the tires, who's got the skills, baby. That's what it comes down to. So, again, William Byron won it last year on Mother's Day, baby. Dedicated to old Mama Byron. We'll see if he can get it done this year again, or it's somebody new. But make sure, if you're looking for somewhere to come check it out, Coach's Corner, Savannah's #1 place for NASCAR, man. You got to come out here Big TVs. You see the one behind me. They got 2 screens here. There's, I don't know, what we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. About 15 other ones out here, man. They'll get the race on for you. You get it inside if it's too hot. But at the end of the day, Coach's Corner. Bring your mama. It's Mother's Day. Gamble. Hell, you know what I mean? Might even do something, I tell you what. You show up here, first person that shows up here to Coach's Corner and says, hey, I'm here to watch the NASCAR race on Mother's Day. Atlanta man sent me up here. Bucket of beer on me. That's a bucket of beer, whatever your mama drinks. Either a bucket of beer or 2 mixed drinks on me. It's up to y'all. First person comes up and says it. You got it, man. But, hey, top 5, this ain't going to venture too far, y'all, from what we've been talking about all year long. I mean, come on. We got the main players. Number 1 for me, 5 car, Kyle Larson, baby. I'm telling you. He finally got it done there. He got that win and off his back there last year at Darlington. I think he's going back again, man. I tell you what, just too good. He's too good. It fits his driving style. Slick, hot, sliding, slipping, old tires, new tires, up against the wall. Dude knows how to run it better than anybody out there. So I'll take Kyle Larson, number 1. Number 2 for me, come on, man. Denny the Weasel Hamlin, you know what I mean? Oh, beat your favorite driver. Well, his daddy put the kibosh on that. So, anyways, I remember the first time my dad spanked my ass. But anyways, at the end of the day, you know, I'll take Denny, number 2. You can't deny him at Darlington. Again, I said best statistical racetrack of this man's career. Well, he got 4 or 5 wins there. I don't know. I think it's 4, but we'll say 4 or 5 wins there. At the end of the day, always contends for the most part. He's going to be up there again. You might as well chalk it up until about halfway through stage 2. Then it's going to be a done deal. 3 for me, Martin Truex Jr. I tell you guys all the time, NASCAR is such a momentum sport. Again, he's been running really good over the past few weeks, shown some speed, especially last week at Kansas. Who knows? They might be able to go out and get it done, but I'll take Martin Truex Jr. in that Gibbs Toyota, number 3. 4 for me, winner from last year, baby. William Big Hat Byron. Might have won it back-to-back had Joey Logano not got his thong all straight up the crack of his ass and decided to wreck him on the last lap. But at the end of the day, old J-Lo with the booty, you know how that goes. You know, I'll take William Byron for y'all. 5 for me, Tyler Reddick, baby. I'm telling you, again, kid that can run the high line. Now, can he keep it out of the wall and have a good setup to make it? Pit crew not let him down, we'll see. It's a big question there, but I'll take him 5th. Dark horses, we're not going too dark. Darkest horse we're running is Eric Jones, baby. Coming back to the car this week. And I tell you what, that just shows you the set of cojones that Eric Jones has. I don't know how bad of a cracked vertebrae or whatever he had in his back, whatever was going on. But I know it took Alex Bowman a while to come back from it. And 2 weeks out, and here we go with Eric Jones coming into a racetrack he's won at before. I'll take him at Darlington, man. Who knows? What a Cinderella story it'd be. Miss a couple weeks, get back in the car, and wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, get that win, baby. But I'll take Eric Jones for sure. Can't leave out my main man, Chase the Bulldog Elliott. I mean, you got to take him a little bit at Darlington. Maybe not one of the best racetracks, but hey, Hendrick Equipment, getting that ball rolling in the right direction, coming off a top 3 finish there at Kansas. Come on, man. It's only a matter of time before the man gets another win. I need him to get 3 more, because then Matt Harrington going to owe me a little bit of money. Oh, no Fords. No. Here's a dark horse Ford for you. Logano, a 2-time champion, at, again, plus 22 or $2,500, which we're going to talk about in a minute. But how do you have a 2-time NASCAR champion open it up with those odds at a place he won 2 years ago, right? Won it in the spring 2022. I don't know. I don't get him. I'll probably bet on him this weekend. At least top 5. Hell, that's good odds for a top 5. Who knows? At some point in time, Ford's got a run worth of shit. I mean, at some point in time. I'm out of dollars. I'm out of dollars. I owe you. But that'll do it for the Darlington preview in the top 5, y'all. Before we get into that money line, hey, man, we're going to pause for station identification. Coach's Corner Sports Network, the center of the universe, baby. Keeping you up to date on all your NASCAR news, rubbing and grubbing. Man, I love being a part of this family, man. I hope everybody's having a good Wednesday. Hell, we only got, what, a week left? Well, a week and some change for some schools. Hey, Beach Bum coming up not this Friday, next Friday. Baby, season's on. It is on, man. You know summertime's here when everybody, grown adults out there just squirting each other's eyelids back with water guns. That's when you know summer's here, man. Getting into that money line, but before we do, money line presented by Redfin, the best polarized sunglasses on the planet. Doesn't matter what it is. If you got a wall hanger or money on the line, make sure you see it clearly with those Redfins, baby. I'm telling you what, these sunglasses are made and manufactured for the woods or the water. I love mine. And I actually put on a set of Tybees this weekend, which I thought I was going to like a couple weeks ago, but I didn't like. So I got to find another set. I got to buy another one, another new set. I got to up my game a little bit on the sunglasses. But, hey, like I'm telling you guys, man, a lot of different frame styles out there, lens polarization, whatever it is, fitting your needs for your fishing, your outdoor, your woods, your hunting, your recreation. Redfin has you covered, man. Make sure you go out there and check out their website. Find a pair you like, and when you do, go to checkout. Use code RubbinandGrubbin15. Save you 15%, man. Like I said, whether it's on the lake, offshore, or just, you know, pulling up in that big Chevy to go pick your little honey up and go out on a date night, man. Make sure you are seeing all the moves and making the moves clearly with Redfin Polarized, man. As always, live life fins up. Redfin Polarized, baby. So, getting into it, like I said, we all know it ain't a hop, skip, and a jump, man. I just gave you the top 5 rundown on the odds, almost verbatim right there. Larson opened to the favorite, plus 400. How can you not bet against him? Me and Lawrence going to lock him in tomorrow. We're going to go ahead and start getting the best on these odds, especially for wins. Because I tell you what, I'm tired of waiting until practice, qualifying, checking all this out on wins. We're just going to go with the gut from here on out. Thursday, we're locking it in. We're locking the money in. I'm taking Larson. I'm taking Hamlin, too. I'm taking both of them, all right? Not far apart. I think Larson comes in at plus 400. Hamlin's right behind him, maybe a little bit better. Martin Truex Jr. comes in there. Fourth behind him is Byron, and fifth is Tyler Reddick. Like I said, man, all of them got good odds. Now, you look deeper in that field, and you know me and Lawrence like to play the game. Always like to try to bet on somebody that's going to have some good odds in a big payday. Again, I said, Joey Logano, there's some drivers back there. Kyle Busch, there's some guys back there, man, that's been showing a little bit of speed. Not so much Logano, but been showing a little bit of speed in past winners there. Really good equipment. You know it's only a matter of time, and I'd hate to miss out on the one weekend when they hit it. So we're going to take a few of those guys for the wins. Now, those top 5s or top 3 finishes. Again, I still think Ty Gibbs was going to do something this year. I had him at Kansas, running good until he wasn't. Man, we were doing really good there for a minute. If it would have ended right there, I'm pretty sure 5 to go, right before the green-white checkered. Yeah, we would have hit 4 or 3 out of our top 5 bets and a win. So we would have been in it. We would have been in the goods. We still got a little something out of it, but not the best. So on the year, man, we are, let's see, boom, boom, boom. Where are we at on the year, Lawrence? Oh, he didn't put it on here for me this year. I don't know. That's not a good sign. Oh, yeah, plus 21.55 on the year. So we're doing pretty good. Not bad, but we could be doing better. And we did hit on the on the Kentucky Derby. We hit 2 of them. So I picked 3 horses. I told you guys Forever Young was my horse. We bet on him. We bet Sierra Leone, and then we bet the favorite. And obviously we didn't win it. But we did have 2 top 3 finishes there with Sierra Leone and Forever Young. So we did, like I said, we didn't win a lot, but we won a little something there. But still great, man. And like I said, man, make sure you guys are posting who you're taking, the tickets you're cashing in on Rubbin' and Grubbin'. I'd love to see it. I'd love to see what you guys got going on, if I'm missing, if I'm right, if we're on it. But I'll tell you what, man, if I got to go on one driver this weekend, one driver, I'm going Kyle Larson again. That's who you should bet the house on, man. I just think it's going to happen back to back. There it is. So wrapping it up there with the money line and moving into the hard right turn. But before we do, got to give a big shout out to my main man over there, Lamar, over at Lamar's Body Shop. 35 plus years taking care of all of Savannah auto collision needs. The best in the business. Lamar and his team know what they are doing. I tell you what, they're not cutting corners. They're not going to fade the funk with you. They are going to give it to you straight, give you a great price, and go, hey, this is what it is. If you want it done right, you got to go see Lamar's Body Shop. 2301 Skidaway Road. We have had numerous people. Lawrence had one. I've had one. We know numerous people, man. That's where you take your car. You know, you got to have it done, whether it's auto collision repair, need a new hood, new fender, paint job, whatever it may be, man. You got to go talk to Lamar, all right? Lamar knows what he's doing. So, again, 2301 Skidaway Road. Hop, skip, and a jump away from coaches. You can drop the car, get that estimate, come over here, eat lunch, go back. It's like a win-win, man. You're double dipping in the honey pot. Anytime you can double dip in the honey pot, you got to, man. Look at Pooh Bear. Made a living off of it, okay? Millions of dollars I've double dipping in the honey pot. So getting into the hard right turn, and this is something I was talking about earlier, man, and it boils down to EV or hybrids in NASCAR, all right? And obviously we know times are changing. I don't think NASCAR should ever make a move to a hybrid or a greener car or electric vehicle until every single car in this world that is regulated by whoever, DOT, whoever regulates emissions and everything, until all cars are electric, NASCAR should never be electric. That's just me. I think it takes away everything you go for a race for. The smell, I mean, and maybe you'll still smell the rubber, but the smell of the fuel, the rubber, the sound. I mean, what are we going to do? Start pumping sound into racetracks that we're going to start doing? I mean, come on, man. What are we going to do? Shut them out like when they stop, or, you know, we come to pit road, all the cars automatically shut off like all of them do now? I mean, come on, dude. Now you're talking logistics, and we just cut all this stuff out to save money for teams. And now what are batteries going to cost? What's a battery cost in a Tesla? Not only to make, but to replace. What's a battery cost? What's it cost on the earth, like mining and doing all these different things for a battery, right? Come on, man. Like, let's get out of here, dude. Let's get out of here with that. I'm out of dollars, and I've had some beers. I cuss some more. BS, all right? But at the end of the day, I think that if we start going over to electric vehicles, and we all know we're going to, it's going to be something that we're going to have to come to terms with as NASCAR fans and deal with. That's just what we're going to have to do. It's eventually going to happen. Whether it's now or 10 years down the road, it's going to happen, all right? I'm still going to watch. Not going to be happy about it, but I'm still going to watch. I'm still going to attend the races that I go to every year. But I think that we are taking away what really makes NASCAR and really what makes autos. So here's my next question. Are we going to start running top fuel batteries? We're going to start running EV top fuel, hybrid top fuel cars, funny cars? How are we going to make a battery go that fast? No, we're going to burn all this nitro fuel the same way we do with emissions and make it happen. Ain't no damn difference, man. At the end of the day, NASCAR needs to grow a set of balls and say, I don't give a damn until whatever happens and it forces me to do it. We're not going to do it. I'll pay the emission fees, whatever you want to do. I don't give a damn. That's just what it comes down to, man. We should not be talking about racing electric vehicles in NASCAR. You want to create a new series and do it? Cool. I'm down with that for about 50 laps. I said 25 earlier, but I might be able to do 50. 50 lap shootout, EV battery. What are we going to do? Charge them on pit stops? We're going to be changing little Ryobi batteries, DeWalt battery? What? Come on, man. Oh, I'm losing power. I'm not running as fast anymore. Get the out of here, man. NASCAR, grow a set of balls, please. For once in your life, please just grow a set of balls. All right, so that's going to wrap it up, baby. We are done with the rubbing. We are on to the grubbing. And I went real basic. I'm being basic tonight, man. I've been fiending for it. I've seen a bunch of them be pumped out lately. And I just went quesadilla, baby. That's all I did. A little basic quesadilla. We got the salsa. We got the sour cream. What we go with? Oh, we went with the chicky quesadilla, which is my favorite. So if you guys haven't yet, you got to come up to Coach's Corner, man, and try anything off this menu. The food here is amazing. The service is amazing. The wait staff, super friendly, relatable. You can talk to them about your day. They ain't going to cut it with you and be like, oh, you know, they're going to have a good time with you. Bartending is amazing. Drinks in here. The best place to come. I'm telling you guys. Braves game on at what, 6:40 tonight, Lauren? Somewhere around there, 6 something, 7 something, somewhere in there. Home of the Braves, the best. 6:30? 30 minutes. 30 minutes. Oh, 30 minutes, man. You still got time to make it out to Coach's Corner, baby. Right here, the best Brave sports bar in the country. I don't care what anybody says. In Braves country, no, it's the whole damn country right here. If you saw this setup, I guarantee there's not another place got this set up. And wait till October. Yeah, I know there ain't another place that got that set up, baby. So we're going to get that title one way or another. But Coach's Corner, best Brave sports bar in the country. One of my favorite. It's home of Atlanta, man. Home of NASCAR, baby. Coach has got it going on, man. Come on. Come out to Coach's. Enjoy your evening here on Wednesday, man. Coach Carl DeMasi not going to be here tonight. I don't blame him. It's hot. Supposed to have a little party, a little get-together event here tonight. Didn't happen. He's going to be at the house, but make sure you are staying tuned. After rubbing and grubbing, you got Coach Carl DeMasi, Prep Sports Report, coming up right after me, 7 o'clock, going live. Got some guests on there. The man knows his stuff. I got to get on with Coach, and we got to talk a little Braves baseball at some point in time. Baseball in general this year. I got to talk to him about that. A little bit of that. I always get on football season, college football with him and talk my dogs because he knows I know my ish. But at the end of the day, got to get on there. Love you, Coach. Can't wait to see you next week, brother. And that's going to wrap it up, baby. We're getting into that outro. I use this time to talk about something important, man. And this is what I'm going to talk to you about, what's important to me today, right? Truth and consistency goes a long way, all right? And not only that, you know, you got to be truthful with yourself. You got to be truthful with people around you. You got to be truthful with what it really is that you want out of this life. You got to be truthful with, when things happen, how it makes you feel. You got to be truthful with, when things don't happen, how it makes you feel. And I think that as people, especially certain people, we tend to tuck our emotions back and give somebody else's emotions the forefront. And I think that's one of the biggest downfall we have as a society and people today is we're always trying to make other people feel better before we make ourselves feel better, or doing things for other people before we stand up for ourselves, or before we feel a certain way and voice a certain thing. So, it's very important, like I said, take care of yourself, put yourself first. I think that is something that we all learn there again when you're a family man and you have things going on, or you're married, or you have children. There's other priorities that come first before yourself, but we really need to self-reflect, self-dig, be truthful with yourself, be truthful with others, and I'm telling you, man, it'll set you free. So at the end of the day, hope everybody's having a great Wednesday. Thank you guys for tuning in to Rubbin' and Grubbin'. I'm getting ready to go down in here and see what I drew up in this NASCAR pool that we got going on, and hopefully we're going to be in there to win some units, man. But thank you guys tuning in to Rubbin' and Grubbin' every single Wednesday right here at Coach's Corner, 6 o'clock, the center of the universe, Coach's Corner Sports Network, baby. Cheers, y'all. See y'all next time. Thanks for tuning in. Love you guys. I was having fun with that one.